You are now entering the Rawrrzone.
Your life changes when you realize the goals that scare you the most are worth chasing. Your life changes when you realize that your future self isn't coming to save you, but is waiting for you to start becoming them. Your life changes the moment you decide to change it.
Now let me slow my roll pimpin' in the mothership straight with rain drippin'. Got her on her toes tippin', had that look in her eye like she was on a mission. Now, I'm neither here or there with it, but you make up your own mind how you tryin' to kick it. You see a player still fishing, but I got some attention, girl, if you tryin' to get it. Catch a ride with a backslide. Fuck around till we get tight. Round two on the other side. You smoking, baby, that's why I fling my lighter. Woo! She said,
you should give it to me.
I said, baby, get down.
You should give it to me.
I said, baby, get down. She said,
you should give it to me.
I said, baby, get down.
You should give it to me.
I said, baby, get down. Come and give it to me. Girl, come and give it to me. In the summertime, baby. Afro Preachah, I'm calling your spine. Be your spine, baby. Woo!
What's up, world? It's me, KDK, Ivy, whatever you want to call me. We are back. Welcome to the Rawrrzone. You can find us everywhere on our website, www.rawrzonegyc.com. You can catch us at our home of Booster 82.3 FM, Wednesdays, 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, in 150 other countries, and we in Mexico doing shots with our new audience over there. So shout out to you, Promo God, and the team. You could then catch us with our friends over at the Evening Rush Radio Network. Make sure you tune into their mix weekend, and if you didn't, I don't know what to tell you. You a dub. Ooh, crickets. But yo, we here, so let's really just get to this, right? We greetings and salutations, friends and family. It's your homegirl, KDK, Ivy, whatever you want to call me. Just talk to me nice, because our Lord and Savior Bob Marley and our guest today, Afro Preachah, don't like ugly. You heard. You can find us everywhere on our website, www.rawrzonenyc.com. Catch us Mondays, 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time on YouTube, or live Thursdays, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on YouTube and our website. And of course, you can catch us at these lovely radio stations, right? Shout out to Booster 82.3 FM on the Live 365 app, the Village Global Network, and of course 150 other countries, which is including our new friends in Mexico. Bienvenidos, our friends. Shots on you. We here though. Thank you, Promo God, for everything you do for the independent community. And of course, we take it to the home team, Fridays, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, with the Evening Rush Radio Network. Shout out to Don and the Fleet DJ team, always doing their part with the independence. Check out the Fleet Conference coming this summer. Whew. Yo, we got a lot of things going on this summer. It's going to be hot. We're in June. You know what that means? That means get raw season. So we getting raw. We becoming hella unapologetic. So we kicking off the celebration at Doha Bar and Lounge, everyone, on June 7th. I'll be coming from duty wine that day. First of all, I don't know what business these people saw taking the white girl to duty wine. But then again, shout out to CJ. He dead called me savage on Cinco de Mayo, and I still don't know what the fuck I did. I don't know, my guy, but we're gonna do this shit all over again. It's my G this year, so we're gonna have that Gay Roy birthday bash. Celebrating my G this year. It's free admission before 12. Ladies, check out the drink specials. The food is great. We got some of New York's top DJs in the motherfucking building. If you really rock with me, please click the link below on Eventbrite, and we're going to get this shit popping. But if you can't make it that day, I really encourage and hope everyone can come join me on June 14th for our Get Raw benefit show. Shout out to Rockview Entertainment. If you didn't hear, on April 17th, my family home, the apartment I grew up at, where I started my entire career, where I cried, I spent moments with my father, and a fire took all of that away and almost took my mom and Mello with them. And since then, you know, we've had to shut down business because of the transition of taking care of my mom and making sure, you know, everything is going through. So unfortunately, Ivy Productions has had the short end of the stick, and we want to go back to giving everyone the quality branding and the quality promotion that we've been giving you, whether it was from photography services or working with Welcome to the Rawrrzone. We want to be able to get back and be on a mobile basis. That way we can still keep doing what we've been doing for the last 10 years. I'm probably going to say this every week. Thank you so much to everyone that's been involved, that's been checking in on me, that's been sending business, that's been donating to the GoFundMe. People that have been checking in on mommy. I am forever grateful for you all. I've never felt so much support from people. Like, you never expect this shit to happen to you. And like, it's even sitting here and seeing all these people on the flyer who've been part of it, and you here just chilling with you guys, just want to help out. So it really means a lot. So yeah, if you can't make it, we're at the Shillelagh Tavern. It's one of our last go arounds over there because they're planning on selling. So make sure you do the shit with us. Do it for a good cause. If you want to donate, you can hit the Cash App, ask for the information below, but the ticket link will be in there. Whew. We are on the road to the Give Back. July 26th, we are at Sanger Hall. We are still looking for performers. Let's get this shit popping. We are fighting cancer with music. 3 performers will be chosen for our Give Back concert this fall. Sponsors and vendors, you want to get involved, just email us at ivproductionsnyc@gmail.com. God damn, he got hit by a car before he could get shot. Sorry. We're also playing the Will Trent season finale in the background, and we thought the vet was gonna die, but he didn't. Homie got hit by a car, though. That shit's pretty funny. But yes, but without further ado, let me get into this intro, because if you saw that video that we just played, that shit was hella fire. Afro Preachah born James Porter III is a dynamic hip-hop artist hailing from St. Paul, Minnesota. He has carved out a unique niche in the music industry with a signature blend of hip-hop, funk, R&B, and boom-bap, a style he refers to as Minnesota hip-hop, funk, and R&B. Drawing from his father, Reverend James Porter Jr., and musical icon Morris Day, Afro Preachah infuses his work with both spiritual and stylistic elements. And his recent collaboration with Real Deal Entertainment, shout out to Katie. And Vydia distribution has expanded his reach, allowing fans to stream his latest single, Watch Me, across major platforms. Beyond music, Afro Preachah is a fashion entrepreneur offering a range of merchandise through his MothershipShop. His multifaceted career reflects a commitment to artistic innovation and community engagement, and you can go catch that on the Afro Preachah website. Whew! Without further ado, we're going to get into this interview. Ladies and gentlemen, hailing from St. Paul, Minnesota, the dynamic hip-hop artist himself, Afro Preachah, everyone!
The Cracker family members, Preacher Man, Mothership on the Move Church. You already know what it is.
We brought it's not Sunday, but we thought we'd bring the gospel of Preachah to you.
For sure.
So I work with kids during the day, right? So they kind of do something in the classrooms where it's like, yo, how are you feeling? What's your vibe? So tell everyone here who you be, how you feeling, and what's the vibe for this week.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm your man. Yeah, I'm from St. Paul, Minnesota. Your boy Afro Preachah, do hip hop funk music. We kind of call it the, hip hop sound, as far as hip hop and funk and those type of elements that pull it together to make the sound in St. Paul. Right now, the vibe just right now is just the state of hip hop right now. Is like the golden age is like reemerging. It's like a lot of the OGs is like coming out, stepping out, bringing out new music, and that's not to take away from the new stuff that we have out here or whatever, but everybody getting refreshed on what the elements of hip hop really is. So that's kind of really what's the air for the week. I just think that's even the air for the summer. Waking up people to the elements is just not. It's just not the rap. It's the rap. It's the b-boying. It's the graffiti art. It's everything that comes with it. It's the elements. So I think that's what's going on as far as just a lot of the new stuff that's coming out from the OGs and some of the new kids that's doing stuff with the OGs. There's a lot going on right now.
How, well, you stated just in general, and we're talking about, the golden age and your like the musical revolution. You said, I used to believe there was the musical revolution until you realize that you're a part of the revolution.
Yeah.
Can you expand on it and tell them, yeah, motherfucker, I did my research.
Well, okay. Well, growing up, I grew up, as far as in a regular Baptist home, no secular music. But my dad was a big musician, songwriter. That's kind of where I got it from. He played like 13, 14 instruments. I got a lot of my songwriting skills and talents and stuff from him and just my side of the family. And when hip hop was like out, I really didn't get a chance to listen to it like I wanted to. So how I would sneak and do it is I would take some of my favorite hip hop songs and I would sing them instead of rap. So my parents or my grandparents didn't know they, as far as they knew, was just maybe a song on the radio. But hip hop wasn't necessarily just accepted in the home. But later on, my grandfather, he kind of loosened up. So actually the first place I actually spit a verse or spit a rhyme actually in public in front of people was church. Taking that and how it all transformed into what it is now. What I try to do is I try not to get myself necessarily stuck like in a time warp, because I do believe things change, but I still believe that the hip hop fundamentals should be the same because we all need a foundation to build up, right? So just as far as what we need right now, I mean, I don't know what everybody's into, whether it's your politics, social issues, what's going on right now. But right now, some of the words that's being spoken in the industry right now is that we need more songs that has messages in them, not so much murder, death, kill, those sort of things, trying to bring the positivity back of really what hip hop was. Hip hop was developed in the first place to keep gangs from fighting in the street, really. That's how they used to come together and solve their differences.
Yeah.
Stuff like that. So that's kind of where, now that the OGs is really coming out and this history is getting re-taught and re-educated, it's just breaking off a new lid of what's going on right now. I think I'm real excited about it right now.
You talked about how hip hop was not, accepted into the home so early. And you, being that you grew up in Kansas City with your family deeply rooted in the Baptist church, how did you use those experiences to shape your musical direction and themes that you explore in your work and in your brand?
Well, the one of the biggest things in hip hop that I clung to, as far as some of the cultural rules in it, is being original. Be you. So I didn't really hear too many hip hop artists coming out that was sort of in my lane. You may hear some here and some there, okay? But as far as being actually taking that, hip hop, that gospel sound, and just some of the funk music that I grew up with, in St. Paul, from just local bands and stuff like that, going to some places where my dad used to play in the clubs and stuff at night, just taking all that, and I was able to come up with this original sound. But here's the thing, okay, it didn't really hit until one of my homeboys actually gave me the name Afro Preachah, because I didn't come up with that. Okay. One of my homeboys came up with that. I used to be, actually, before I was Afro Preachah, I used to be in a group called Third Eye. And then when we kind of disbanded, but I was still recording music. And my boy at the time that I was recording, who I was recording with, my boy Griff from G-Town Records, he was like, man, you know what? He was like, man, you sound just like your grandfather and your pops when you be doing your music, when you be singing and stuff, and you always wear the afro. So he said, man, we're going to start calling you Afro Preachah. And I was like, nah, that's not going to go. Right. I was completely resistant to it. I was like, no, it'll never go. My family won't accept it. But little did I know, he actually hit it on the head. And then my other buddy, that's really been a big supporter of mine, my boy Prince Charles, he really saw the vision, because when I actually took to the name, he was the first person I did a photo shoot with as Afro Preachah. So
Prince Charles, the one that lives in Florida?
no, no, my boy, he's in Fargo. This is my guy that lives in Fargo. But how that element just came through, how Afro Preachah came about, it just wasn't me. I actually, it was my friends and stuff with me that helped me form that. And then when it just came together, I was able to really laser focus on it and really cut my own lane as far as my style of hip hop, period. And that's just what I wanted to do. I think that's just one of the big things about hip hop, that if you really are in it, you're going to do this thing how you do it. You're not worried about copying somebody else. Nothing wrong with showing homage if you're doing a remake and you're doing it right, stuff like that. But as far as being you, hey, how do you want to live your last 24 hours? Somebody asked me, and I said, being me. So that's kind of where my viewpoint is as far as the Afro Preachah side.
Okay. Tell me about sexy church music.
Well, okay, sexy. Well, that's kind of one of the names that when I'm doing my R&B stuff, when I'm doing my R&B stuff, and more on the sexy side, more on the grown folk side, that's one of the lanes or just one of the sub names and stuff I call. That kind of sexy music that sound like you ain't supposed to be hearing. It's a little bit sinful, but you can still gonna listen to it anyway.
Let me find out people are fucking in churches to your music now. Let me what? He made a whole damn genre to people being nasty in the churches. What's next? You're gonna find grandma getting it on with the preacher.
Hey, look. How them church folks can get sometimes.
Listen, man, they always say it's the God-fearing ones that are always,
Look, Tyler Perry got a whole show about it.
Mm-hmm. But Tyler Perry got a show and a movie about everything.
Yep.
What is your approach to being able to blend hip hop, funk, and R&B in your music?
Let's see. I usually really like to take the organic approach. Just really chilling, vibing. Sometimes just even listening to other music.
Mm-hmm.
I'm blessed to have producers that like to start from scratch.
Ooh.
Like from scratch. And both of my producers, they're both DJs also, and they're both musicians. So a lot of times there's really just not anything we can't do together. It's just like, okay, I just came off, but they're real good about just coming off the top of the dome. And both my producers, let me shout them out real quick. My boy Flame Squad, DJ MC, okay, and my boy LST, okay. These are both of my main both my main producers and stuff that produce most of my music, and I'm a real blessed individual to have them. These two producers, they're, hey, when I say you have to be on top of your P's and Q's, man, you got to be on top of your P's and Q's. Like we do like to chill, but when the boards come on and them lights and them gauges go off, both my guys, they trying to work. No time for the shenanigans, and none of that. So it's like once we get in that organic space and it really starts hitting, it just comes out. Throw this in, take that out. Throw this in, take that out. So it's like it's really, really, really organic. Just and and it's like every now and again I'll get like a remake, but I'm real iffy when it comes to remakes. It's got to be done right. So it's got to be like, okay, we know it's a remake, but it's got to be original and it has to go hand in hand, almost like smoking and drinking. If the remake ain't like smoking and drinking, I ain't trying to do it.
So I got a fun question for you, because I love your opinion on remakes, right? Like there's some songs that shouldn't have been remade.
Mm-hmm.
What are your top 3 songs that shouldn't have been remade in this generation?
that should be remade.
That should have been, like there's versions like Dance with My Father is an amazing song, and I don't see nothing wrong with like the renditions that were made, right? But then there's some other songs that should have not been touched at all.
Yes. Oh, now, see, that's a good question. Now you're gonna have. I got to go in my brain. Let's see what's.
Yeah.
Oh, that's something to think about.
Katie, you can answer that too if you want. I know you're.
Oh wait, that's put me in. Ooh, that's a good one.
I told you it was going to be an interesting conversation. They never believed
You know
the way.
I do got a couple. There is one. Now it just hey, I'm not hating. When we say this, I'm not hating. But I did not like how I think it was D4L. I don't like how they used the Sanford and Son sample. It kind of sucked. I'm like, no. I was like, no, that's not gonna go. Man, what's the name of this group?
See, I felt like that when Michael Bublé did his own rendition of "Make You Feel My Love," because he's a swooner, and I get it 100%, right? But at the same time, like "Make You Feel My Love" is such a slow song, and he tried doing it on a very high tempo beat, and I'm like, bro, why? These Canadians, man.
Yeah, he's just like, why not leave well enough alone?
Yes. But you still got 2 more you got to tell me.
Let's see. This is an old one. I mean, folks loved it, but it was kind of I never really liked how Elvis redid Hound Dog.
Really? Okay, explain. I'm not judging. I'm actually just curious to hear. And I meant to say, Katie said this toxic remix.
Well, the original, man, I had to do my I can't think of her name right now. It just escapes me. It'll probably come to me later. But the original lady that done that song, you ain't nothing but a hound dog crying all the time. But she was referring to a dude directly, and I don't know, just the versus how she did it was more just heartfelt versus how Elvis did. So I was like, So that's one. Ooh.
Didn't Surfing USA get taken by a crooner back in the days? The Beach Boys song.
Oh, I don't know.
I
Oh,
remember.
you know what? It just came to me. Okay. Yes, a lot of people like this song. To me, I really didn't like it. I still to this day don't like uh, how Vanilla Ice did Ice Ice Baby and took the track from The Doors. I never liked that. I thought Ice Ice Baby sucked.
I feel like I actually like the beat for Ice Ice Baby, but growing up, I just thought it was kind of corny because
I was like, I couldn't get with it. I was like, no, I'm good.
no, I understand that. I can't even judge you on that one. I can't, man. That's a valid point. That's a super valid point.
Yeah, I never really liked it. I was like, I couldn't get with it. I was like, I said maybe I have to wait till he dropped his second album. But I was like,
But see, and it just goes like some people could pull it off, but then I'm sorry, the people of my culture think that they could rap sometimes. I'm sorry.
yeah.
We have one in a few.
One of the best remakes recently I've heard is by Lucky Day, who redid
Which one?
who redid that song by Earth, Wind and Fire.
Not the Over song.
Yeah.
The one that he popped a couple of years ago with?
I believe so. Yeah, he's it's I betcha. That's the name of I betcha. That's the one.
Okay.
That one. Yeah, he redid that. Yeah, that's one of the better remixes that I've heard so far. So so there's a couple people out there that when they do them, I dig them. But other than that, it's really got to be right. Really got to be right.
Now, I don't know if you ever seen Star, right? The show that was like the not a predecessor, but it was like a sister show for Empire. And they had the three girls that did the pop group.
Yeah.
So
the three girls. Yeah.
The dude that the main girl had the baby with, that they kind of did that cliffhanger at the end, Wolf James.
Yeah, the blonde hair, the one girl, the blonde hair chick.
Yeah.
Okay,
so
yeah.
The dude that she had the love interest, Wolf James, actually did a really amazing version of Dance With My Father. Like for the show, and then it ended up in the soundtrack, and it's like it makes you like that rendition made me cry. And I don't cry often. I mean I do, but not for music purposes.
Yeah, I did see some of that. The music was good in that, for what I saw. And I'm not necessarily particular to music.
They should, in my opinion, they should have never canceled that show. Empire was getting hella stale, and then this motherfucker then he wanted to fucking have a whole hate crime orchestrated. I'm just like, really, bro? Like, you fucked up the whole storyline on top of that. Like, this bitch wasn't even supposed to die. Like,
yeah, Empire was killing them. Lucius was killing them.
Like, the only good thing about Empire at that point was the whole Lucius and Cookie dynamic.
Mm-hmm.
Because after the oldest went through that crazy stage where he thought he was seeing his dead wife.
Yeah.
Hakeem had the babies with this girl.
Yeah, he had to deal with they've been having him dealing with mental issues throughout the whole thing. Something mentally was always going on with the oldest. Something wrong with him.
But Star was like that show that, like, that should not have gotten canceled in the middle of its third season. But that's just my opinion. Get it together, Lee Daniels.
Yeah. Like, I agree. It was a good show.
Like, what happened to the baby? Like, no one will know what happened to that fucking baby because they canceled it because of the pandemic.
Yeah, because it ended abruptly, and it's like there's so many questions left from it. Yeah, I
But a
agree.
lot of shows end up like that, like without warning, which is stupid. Because then why do you have people actually fanning these shows?
Yeah.
But enough about that. Let's get back to you. Because you are a very interesting person. But first and foremost, how did you get involved with Katie and Real Deal?
Oh just being here in the Twin Cities, we just kind of really came across each other, on social media and stuff like that. And then plus me and Will, we got a lot of people that are mutual acquaintances and stuff like that. And just over, years and stuff, we've both been out here and, noticing our work. So just so happens, last year, Will and Katie had a project, and they had they had a project which was a Spit or Quit project. They actually had somebody else in mind, but this person wasn't available. So before that, me and Katie had been kind of going back and forth a little bit over social media, and then she was like, "Hey, I have a project for you that I think you would be good for. You want to see if you can do it?" I said, "Sure." So it was the Spit or Quit project, 50 MCs legacy from DJ K Slay. And I got the verse, knocked it out, did the video, shot it back. And when Katie and Will got it, they was like, whoa. So when they took it and shot it out to, big shout out to Van Silk, who's keeping the brand alive. And big shout out to Nero, that's also keeping the brand alive. When he shot it out to them, they really dug the project. And it was basically kind of just history from there. So from that point of the Spit or Quit project is how everything is coming about to this point. Because when we went out there for the second release, because that's what I'm on volume 2. We went out to New York for the second release, and since that time, the industry has just been bringing me back to New York, just like on a regular basis. So it's like since that point, we just been really moving and shaking. Will is one that just presented distribution with Vydia with Will. So I mean, after we went through a few things, talked some stuff out, it all came together, and we all moving. It's Will and Katie, they know what they're talking about. They know what they're doing. We can pretty much, I mean, we're starting to get to that point where we're almost like that, that efficient basketball team. Everybody know their moves, and everybody making their moves to get that work done.
So, and I'm not asking this because she's watching in the back and was watching in the back, right? And I'm not saying this so you can gas them up or anything. I'm asking how important is it, especially for where did he go?
It just cut out on me. So.
No, it cut out. I'm like, wait. I was like, where did he
sorry about that. Sorry about that. Okay.
So how did it feel to have? All right, let me rephrase that because that kind of threw me off for a minute. How important for a small music community like the one in St. Paul to have entities like Real Deal Entertainment being able to help push the talent coming out of there?
Well, I believe it's really important because how the industry has changed now. We're dealing with streaming. That whole idea now that you have to put in some time and develop yourself, and labels aren't even looking at you if they don't think you're dedicated, right? Or just people in the industry that could help you, period, because they want to see that whole age of trying to find somebody and mold somebody exactly into what you want them to and spend all that money and get that those days are over with. Okay?
Yeah.
Okay. So it's more beneficial to look, I can know you're serious if you're educating yourself. So one thing that Will is a real big advocate for is people being educated in their musical business. So organizations like Real Deal, not only can provide services and stuff like that, but they also provide pretty good education. So you tighten your business up. Because one thing that artists need to understand is that if you're in this music and you're an artist, you are a business owner. You're an owner of your musical brand. You do own that. You are the owner. Okay. So there's a lot of decisions that you should just be making in the first place, because it's just a matter of business, not necessarily somebody trying to make those things for you. Okay. And that education they really put out there, and true, you can lead a horse to water, but you can't necessarily drink. But if you're drinking, okay, Real Deal definitely is going to get behind you, and that's something that's the community here. And yes, the Twin Cities, but I'm in St. Paul, but that's what the community here needs, because independent artists that are more educated are having better results. So it's a real big help to have labels or just entertainment organizations like Real Deal Entertainment down in St. Paul to get artists to, get outside of their horizons, because the industry is more than just St. Paul. It's just that our sound isn't everywhere, and so since it's something that people haven't heard before necessarily everywhere, people want to hear it. So
I swear I wasn't asking that to kiss ass or anything. I was just really curious. They're all laughing in the background right now. I want to see how many more times I can make Katie laugh within this interview. But to piggy off what they do, right? They've gotten you involved in events just like the 7th annual MC Shaw Rock Day. You've collaborated with artists such as Samuel Hawkins. How have those experiences help influence your music and your message?
Well, just the networking that's going on, just from doing the Spitter Quick project, starting to network and actually having regular conversations with artists who I consider my OGs, growing up listening to, that I'm actually getting to know these artists, and they're actually real people outside of being hip hop artists, like, Ice-T. I actually get a chance to go back and forth with Ice-T. He's real cool, him and his DJ. I actually get to go back and forth with Kool Kim and King Son and Chuck D, and just they're regular people, and just getting the perspective of the people before you, and it's real education, real stuff. That's been like one of the greatest things I've had a chance to experience, and big shout out to my big brother Boo Black, Fearless 4, and Sam Hawkins. Those two brothers have definitely been like the most, they've been welcoming me into the industry up in New York, like just all day. They've been making it like real fun. Also my boy Irv, big brother Irv, just getting to know, folks that's really been in this thing, and you actually get to experience their stories and learn from, so you can actually prepare yourself for any pitfalls or anything like that. Because I tell you, if you put your ears up, the OGs will tell you, but if you don't want to listen, they're not going to tell you. So one of the big takeaways I have to say that I've taken from Spitter Quit is just the networking. Staying in contact with people. Sometimes just a simple, hey, bro, just checking in with you. How you feeling? And I get to do that. With, man, there's so many people on the project that I've been going back and forth to get to know. It's crazy. Even Young Hump from Digital Underground, Tresh from Naughty by Nature. Yeah, everybody's been cool. Can't complain.
Yo, you speaking my soul to all this, because like I told Katie, like I'm not versed in hip hop. I'm not, like, I didn't get to grow up with it. I grew up in a traditional Greek household, so hip hop, even, man, I wasn't even allowed to listen to freaking Michael Jackson. That's how bad it was. I used to be, if you ever saw Gilmore Girls, I was Lane Kim hiding all my
Damn.
CDs.
Not
That's-
Gilmore Girls.
That's how real the shit was, B. And so as they grew up and I came into hip hop extremely by accident, because I was a photographer. They threw me into the Spanish realm, so all I was dealing with was Hispanic artists and everything. And then out of nowhere, I went on a gig, got locked in a basement, and boom, I ended up having a radio show after. And, like, to hear about the roots of hip hop, and in reality, a lot of people just don't like it, and a lot of misconceptions from the old school is based off of the violence that it brings. But if you look at the other parts of it, yes,
Yeah.
Biggie and Tupac always had their fights. It was always the East Coast versus the West Coast, but at the same time, a lot of Tupac's music was poetic.
Yeah.
So how could you be mad with poetry? Like, a lot of the original hip hop was all poetry. It was all pain poetry.
Yeah, that hood report, just those putting those words and stuff out there just to describe what's going on in the hood, from the good to the bad, from the heartache and the pain to the sunshine and the rain.
And the only reason it continues to still be bad is because the people that are in those positions are continuing to make it look bad due to the actions of a time era that they just kind of kept fucking with.
Well, yeah, they actually, what some of these organizations do, they actually hire people, or hire artists. Like, look, we're trying to portray this certain type of thing. Can you fit this mold? We'll pay you to do that. And a lot of times, it's trashy music, and it's easy to, but that's the type of stuff that's easy
to replicate. Everyone,
replicate. It's easy to tap into the kids who don't have a developed ear yet. They can't necessarily tell you what's good and what's not. They just know what they're feeling.
Because you got Ice Spice, you got Sexy Red, and I want to say Glorilla fall into the same type of category of music. All of them are TikTok artists that got their fame in an era that kids were on TikTok.
Well, yeah, it's definitely, that's what it is. Like, but you have to know that's just what it is. Like, those ladies, like, in a real, what I would call real hip hop setting, it's not like I would take any of them and I would put them in a battle with another actually female MC. They more like rappers. It's like the whole thing between Drake and Kendrick. Drake is a rapper. Kendrick is an MC.
Yo, okay. Drake got annihilated on the Super Bowl. What you mean?
Yeah, because it's like, look, okay.
Samuel L. Jackson there.
See, one thing that Kendrick can never take from Drake is that he does great music. So that's what it wasn't about that. What it's about was, no, you want to be an MC. Well, just so happens MCs battle. So since MCs battle, you ask for that fight. And now, you got punched in the nose a couple times, and it's just what it is.
Listen, that trash project that Drake put out after, what the hell with that? Yo, he is a former shell of himself. Retired. Go home.
Look, Drake gonna get tired of y'all talking shit about him.
No, then put out a project, something like that reminds me of Take Care, something. Stop giving me this bullshit ass music just because everyone thinks they could go tap into different lanes that they're clearly not meant to be in.
Right. So it's like, them ladies, I wouldn't put them like in a MC battle with like a female MC, like let's say who, uh, Jean Grey. I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't put them in a MC battle with MC Light. Hell no. You know, so it's like, no, you have what they're doing is rapping, but if you really want to fuck with hip hop, we have those other women and stuff that's, you know, in hip hop. You just got to dig. You got to go look.
Being that we also, you know, we talked about your hip hop upbringing, you've collaborated with artists like Flame Squad, DJ MC. You formed a duo, True MCs, with Truth Maze. How have these collaborations help influence the Afro Preachah sound, and what have you learned working with those artists?
Oh man, just see, one thing I do like, I like different points of view when it comes to hip hop. So,
Do you compete when you get on the bars?
oh yeah, for sure,
Okay.
for sure. You know, that's I'm trying to, when I'm spitting, I'm trying to be the slickest I can. That's for sure. You know, but working with them, it keeps me on my toes. It's like, ooh, I get to be Afro Preachah, but a different way again. You know, so instead of just, you know, because I know how I do music when I'm doing it with, you know, and it's just me. But when I'm collabing with somebody else, that really is pushing my bar. Oh, this almost feels like a Goku and Vegeta fight. Like,
Yeah.
let's go. You know, let's go. You know, and you know, Flame Squad DJ MC, boy, he bring that, man, the fire god, he brings that out of me. My boy Truth Maze, he brings that out. My producer LST, when he came up with Watch Me, you know, he knows how to make those beats, he knows how to make that music and just pulls it out of me. You know, so it's like working with them, I can always bet that I'm going to get something new where I have to push my elevation higher than where it was before. You know, always trying to level up, you know.
So I have the Get Down. Tell
Okay,
me about
I'll
Tell
get
me.
down.
Yeah, boy.
Well, okay. Well, LST produced Get Down.
Hmm.
And he was like, you know, Afro, I got something that, you know, he was like, man, we need to do, at the time, he just felt it was appropriate for me to do something funky at the time. And I said, okay. So he shot it to me to let me, you know, kind of check it out. And, you know, one of my biggest like artists from the Twin Cities I'm a big, you know, Morris Day fan. You know, I love me some Uncle Morris Day
Hmm.
and the Time. And just so happens, you know, I've had a chance, you know, I go back and forth with Morris. We get to know each other and stuff like that. So when the track came, it had that hip hop funk element that I really can get into. So, but LST, he had a few rules. He said, you know, keep it smooth, keep it this, you know, keep it fly, and it just came together. And just how LST. One thing I like about LST is, look, you don't think so, but he will probably mix a song like 20 times before he'll say it's right. like
Okay.
like he lays into the track, like he is really sound design, you know, and how the instruments how they knock so hard, you know, would Get Down. It just came out that way. You know, it sound, you know, I like that. I like some of those sounds that really sound big, you know. So that's just how it came about, you know, just getting something funky out there, you know, and my fans kind of they like that I can touch a few things. Like it's not always just going to be me doing music the same way. You know, I like to keep my people on their toes. I'm like, okay, what's he about to drop next? You know it's going to be dope, Just what is it?
So the one thing I noticed about it, right, and for me to like music, because me and Katie have been through thousands of different artists and everything. So if you don't have that energy, you don't come with that energy within the first 15 to 20 seconds. For me, I'm not gonna listen. But right off the intro to the song, you get a nostalgic vibe that brings the 80s, 90s funk, and like even with your other videos, always larger than life.
Thank you.
Were you trying to, like, I know this is your own energy. One, how much caffeine are you drinking for this? And then two, right? Are you channeling any specific artist or era in the Get Down?
Yes, I'm definitely channeling Morris Day and a Time. That is for sure. Just with the style of it, and I also get this just from the energy that I picked up from my grandfather. My grandfather was a singer too, and one thing about Grandpa never wasted his time. Grandpa got right into it, like not necessarily super drawn out to get to the song or anything like that. He was like, "No, we're here to do some music. Bam, let's go." That giddy up. So it's that, and really, we really did get down because we wanted people to really actually listen to good music start listening to good music again. Because there's a part in it that I wanted, that me and LST wanted in there, that's kind of like for the DJs, where I just, I back off the track and I'm not saying too much and just letting the track breathe and just let it do it so people can, really feel it. And I like doing stuff to get people back to the dance floor again, because it's like, these days, folks have been standoffish, and I'm not necessarily a standoffish type of artist. I'm like, no, ladies, gentlemen, get it together. So it's like that's something that Morris Day and the Time, that's something Uncle Morris do. He's definitely on that. Y'all get it together. We up in here. Let's get it together. So it's like that energy. It's like Morris Day by my grandfather and the Porter family. Okay. And then where I get the energy from is, I'm a kung fu martial artist. I've been a practitioner for about 25 years now. So I just really
No, the fuck you're not. What?
Yeah.
Oh my God, can I spar with you? I just want to spar once with somebody. My brother wouldn't let me do it when he was alive. God rest his soul. But I wanna learn how to spar with someone in karate. I only made it to my yellow belt, goddammit.
Yeah, I've practiced. I've been training Liang Shaolin Kung Fu for 25 years. The forms that I practice is Liang Shaolin Kung Fu, Shaoyun Tran, and Tiger Style. And also, I know the Chinese broadsword. So I'm a swordsman also. So that's where a lot of the energy comes from, because that's the type of energy that I put into my performances. As far as I'm concerned, when I hit that stage, for me, it's like a kung fu fight.
Are you on that Samurai Jack flow? Like, is that what we talking about right now? Katie,
Oh, yeah.
why the fuck you didn't tell me this, bro?
Well, every now and then, folks do call me Afro, so they will, crack jokes and call me Afro Samurai sometimes.
Oh no!
So, yeah. I got my mastership. I actually got my mastership as a senior student and a instructor now 2 years ago.
So you be teaching people the word of the Afro Samurai?
Yes, I do have students.
Oh my God. Wait, but no, you have to introduce this song. We're gonna go completely off topic. And I see a kitty tail. Sorry, Katie's cat was distracting. But please introduce the song first before we're never gonna play it talking about you being the Karate Man. And you do know the Karate Kid Eternals is coming out. So we all gotta see that movie. But introduce the Get Down first.
Okay, check it out. This was song. You said Get Down?
Yeah.
Okay, this was song Get Down, produced by LST. Check it out. Sure.
I just got mind blown. My name is Katie K. This is Welcome to the Rawrrzone on our website, www.rawrzonenyc.com, Puso 82.3 FM, Wednesdays, 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, and of course, on the Evening Rush Radio Network on Fridays, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Let's get it. This motherfucker say he's a swordsman. He got a pimp cane.
I don't think you understand how valuable my time is. You don't make the church look bad.
Then why can't you let us do our own stuff?
We tried that last time. Remember? Now this is the best possible position I can get y'all in. What's wrong? The shoes too tight? Let's see some action. I want some asses wiggling. I want perfection. Super church. Think drink.
She said, you should give it to me.
Woo. She said,
You should give it to me.
I said, baby, get down, get down. She said,
You should give it to me.
I said, baby, get down. Huh. Now here I come now. Got that futuristic funk in my mouth. Woo. Cause any day now, she's ready to scream because it's been a while. Now hold up. And I done called a buzz like Uncle Morris Day. I need a jungle love. Woo. Now she's busting on my Indian rug and I'm smacking ass with my Michael Jackson gloves. Now come on. She said,
You should give it to me.
I said, baby, get down. She said,
You should give it to me.
I said, baby, get down. She said,
You should give it to me.
I said, baby, get down. She said,
You should give it to me.
I said, baby, get down. Now let me slow my roll pimpin' in the mothership straight with rain drippin'. Got her on her toes tippin', had that look in her eye like she was on a mission. Now, I'm neither here or there with it, but you make up your own mind how you trying to kick it. You see a player still fishing, but I got some attention, girl, if you trying to get it. Catch a ride with a backslide. Fuck around till we get tired. Round two on the other side. You smoking, baby, that's why I fling my lighter. Woo! She said,
You should give it to me.
I said, baby, get down.
You should give it to me.
I said, baby, get down. She said,
You should give it to me.
I said, baby, get down.
You should give it to me.
I said, baby, get down. Ooh, come and give it to me. Girl, come and give it to me. Woo. Give it to me. Got her right here. She said,
You should give it to me.
I said, baby, get down.
You should give it to me.
I said, baby, get down. She said,
You should give it to me.
I said, baby, get down. She said,
You should give it to me.
I said, baby, get down.
Castles in the summertime.
In the summertime, baby.
Afro Preachah, funk all in your spine.
In your spine, baby. Woo!
Okay, we're still back. You really said you were a swordsman?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I'm really just not over that. I've never had. I did say welcome to the Rawrrzone. I can't even say nothing. This was just most random. Did you ever like? First of all, I can now picture you because that was a pimp called slick back outfit. Now imagine
Super
in
church.
exactly. So now imagine you had the pimp cane, right? And you know the handle, you pull it out and it turns out being a sword. Have you gotten some crazy? What's the craziest idea you've heard from someone after you told them that?
Oh wow, I done got all kind of stuff. um, let's see. Oh, the craziest one is somebody told me I should like be like Darth Vader with like an afro and be like his
Afro Vader.
Afro Vader is gonna force choke a bitch.
Mm-hmm.
So, I done got some pretty wild stuff with people like trying to put on me.
Weak. So, you've mentioned interest in collaborating with artists like Snoop Dogg and MC Light. What makes you want to work with these artists, and how do you envision those collaborations happening?
Well, MC Light is like my number one female MC. Like as far as my greatest of all time, MC
She's
Light is
got
like,
it.
yes, MC Light's my number one. Just okay, MC Light is one of them female MCs that she will give you a lyrical beat down. Step
So
through the wrong way.
You'd be okay taking the L in a track with her?
Hell yeah. Oh, I'm not gonna. I'm not gonna. I'll take the L if it comes to that. But hey, look, we in this. We in this. Oh, I'm gonna fight. I ain't gonna take a laying down. Okay, but definitely it would be with an MC Light. You know for sure it's gonna be some hip hop shit. So that's number one. Snoop is because of course Snoop's style. And Snoop is definitely down with the funk. So it just seemed like we would do something real funky together. It would just come right together. That's why those are the two artists like as far as the game I really would like to work with.
Shop, it has a variety of different merchandise. How does fashion complement to your music identity?
Just as far as like I've always been like just as far as my graphic ability, I've always been a comic book artist, graphic artist.
Like you draw it?
Yeah.
Okay.
I design it all the time. I've probably been drawing. I've been drawing comic book art since I was like 6 or 7. So I've been just, I remember when Dragon Ball Z was in black and white.
Wow.
So that's how long I just been drawing. So a lot of the designs is just really just out of my head. That's how we kind of came up with church clothes, just sayings, that church folks say, and also across the spectrum of other, religious cultures and stuff like that. Just to bring it together for people to start a conversation. I'd also put it together, in my head, thinking that we've got more in common than we do not in common. When it comes to some of our belief systems and, having the conversation and having the conversation in a way where it's not super offensive, in a way where folks, hey, why did you design it that way? Well, because it is, because it is, because it is. And, it can kind of open up some doors as far as people being open to different wisdoms from other cultures that can just help us live. So that's kind of just where the whole idea of where church clothes came from, and and just the whole idea of just the mothership store or whatever. That's for my folks that, hey, if you really, are fans, and you really fuck with me, you go in here, sign up, whatever, get a membership, whatever I put in there is you get, because there's stuff that's in there that you don't see on the open website. Just for folks that are just my diehard fans and that like just some of the other art that I do, they would go up in there and sign up in there and get that stuff.
So your brand is very heavy on fan interaction. How do you engage through your website and your social media platforms, and what role does your fans play in your creative process?
Well, I've always kept when social media started, because I first started, of course, on MySpace, like most
MySpace!
like right, like most of us did. But I always kept that whole thing of social media wasn't necessarily designed to take over. Social media was something that was supposed to create a bridge for somebody to come to your website. Okay. So I've always taken that approach where, yes, we're on social media, but I always keep like a line between stuff that's on social media and stuff that I don't put on social media. Or if it's like, you want to be the first one to know about something, you want to be the first one to know what's going on with me, well, you would probably find it at my website first before it even hits social media. And like when I'm dropping my music and everything, it hits the website first. So it's like, you have to have some sort of separation. Like I'm always like, I've never really been a throw the whole kitchen table at something.
Yeah.
Like every last thing I got going on has to make it to social media. Actually, it doesn't. It's like, no, come to the website. Come here. And it's one of the things that I often push to my other fellow artists, because it's like having a website is almost like having your own museum or your own house. Okay. If you have your own museum, you can control, what you charge for something, of what you say. If it goes out to the public square, everybody's getting a deal on everything, which is like, hey, I like to save $1 too. But if you're really that type of artist that's really taking your music and you're taking it that seriously, you want to make a place where people can come and they're like, no, I couldn't get it there. I had to go there and get it. So it's like, that's how you take those social media likes and follows and all that sort of thing. That's how you change them into dollars. You don't put everything on social media. It's just what it is. It's like, look, a lot of people ask, it's like, nope, if you want that, you got to go to the mothership store. I'm sorry, it's just what it is. And you find out who's really supporting you and who's not.
So I was very impressed when I did go on your website, because not many artists, and I've had this conversation with my business partner, shout out to S-Rock, but not a lot of artists do direct to consumer music. A lot of people go through the third parties and take the little pennies, because let's be real, especially because we're just talking about, David Banner just talked about this whole thing on Drink Champs about the streaming and the union.
Yep.
So it's just funny when I see that. How successful has doing direct to consumer been for you as an artist as opposed to going through the streaming platforms?
It's, as far as I'm concerned, it's still there. See, I know what it is to, back in early 2000s to like go to the Drake relays with like 5,000 CDs and sell them all for $20 a CD. You know, coming back. I mean, we used to be able to do that back in the day. Go out and come back home with the mortgage. Okay, so it's like that. Once you've done that, you really know that hustle. It is in you, and you know how to. And you just know once that salesman gets in you, you're not gonna go wrong. You just know how to do it. So it's like I almost 100% agree from the standpoint where David Banner was coming from. But here's the thing. Whether we liked it or not, the technology was going to be developed. You know, it's a natural step. Technology always take these natural steps because people are always trying to figure out things. The best thing you can do is be like water, you know, adjust to the times. Like it doesn't make sense for us to have knife sharpeners on the corner like they used to do in the Depression and shit. Okay, I could go buy one at Target. You know, it's just what it is. So even though, yes, streaming is on that end, but that's where the website comes in because I have people, you know, from around the planet just because you have those people that just want to either just show love or they want to see what you do next. They want to see your art just continue to grow. So there's people that'll give me just $25 for just one download. You know, just to say, hey, love what you're doing. You know, it's just that you have to give your people that opportunity to just know that it's there. You don't necessarily have to pressure it to them. All you got to do is present it to them, and they got to see that you are 10 toes in and 10 fingers in to your brand to keep providing that entertainment to them. You know, so it's like you can't have you have to do some work. Again, I agree with what David Banner said, but the best way for that to level out, if more independent artists had their own websites so they can direct sell, I think they would see a financial change. Yeah, for sure.
So speaking of that, because you have Watch Me Out as the single that you're selling right now.
Mm-hmm.
So I figured we talk a little about that because your energy there is like off the fucking wall. I don't think this episode is gonna have a Rawrrzone mix, guys. I'm sorry. I'm enjoying this conversation, but what was the initial spark behind Watch Me, and was there a specific moment or emotion that triggered its creation?
Yeah, Watch Me, also produced by LST. I really wanted to do something where it's not so much because I mean we can like overblow things sometimes, you know, larger than life and this sort of thing. But I wanted to do something that's more like focused on me and not so much a whole bunch of bells and whistles, but knowing how to take your art and know when to make things, know when to do, to know when less is more. Okay. So it's like, I wanted to do that in a way where I could kind of tell my story as far as what's been happening to me in the industry, how, you know, nobody's a genius in this industry. The only thing that they figure out that's genius level is you don't give up. Okay. You know, Jay-Z's not a genius. He just didn't give up. Okay. That's really what it is. So I wanted to show over the years in that video just where I've come from, where Afro Preachah started to like where Afro Preachah landed now. Like I had no idea that I would be in China, you know, shooting music videos in the Great Wall.
That's fucking awesome. Did you bring the samurai sword?
Nope.
Don't tell me that and not do that. Why?
No, because it was like that. Well, my teacher, but my teacher, he's also my international manager, and he books stuff for me internationally. And one of the songs that I was putting out at the time, he's the one that actually shot and did the video in Beijing, China. We went to do a show on the Great Wall there, and then also at the same time, I was able to shoot a music video. So it was awesome. I'll say this much: when I go to China, it's crazy. It's, man, you have to. It's a rush. I'll say that much. It was one of the best experience musically that I've ever done. You know?
Can I come to China with you next time?
Well, I'll put it out there if y'all want to get on the schedule. It'll be on my website. You know, if you want to know, because it won't be on necessarily social media at first. I'll leak it out here and there, but the definite details about it.
I'm gonna sign up for the website news.
Please do. You know, you'll get everything. I try to keep it exclusive. You know, there's a lot of stuff you get there that won't hit social media right away. You'll be the first one to get it. And right now there's something coming new. There's a few things that's being revised, like the Mothership store is being revised, and the new season and stuff of Church Expos is going to be coming pretty soon. So if you are a member, you will be seeing that stuff first before social media even will be aware of it.
Dope. So introduce the track for us.
Okay. Track Watch Me, produced by LST. Going crazy right now. Y'all, check it out. Church.
This is Watch Me on Welcome to the Rawrrzone on our website, www.rawrzonenyc.com. Puso 82.3 FM, Wednesdays, 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, and Fridays, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on the Evening Rush Radio Network. Let's get into this Watch Me so you can see where the hype is.
Once again, back is the incredible General, stone pillar lyrical. One great Oz he hopped on my hustle and took it to the streets. Flying across the globe, chilling on the Great Wall in my church clothes. Haters need to catch a plane if you wanna keep up with the preacher man. Globetrotter, no one hotter. Power to the next level, it's the game locker. Let your man show you how it go. Putting food on the table, rain, sleet, or snow. Took this game and put it on the stroll. My church gang is going for the gold. Man, never mind them haters out here trying to stop. Just open up your eyes and watch me. Open up your eyes and watch me. Open up your eyes and watch me. Never mind them haters out here trying to stop. Just open up your eyes. Now there I go again, popping my collar, man. You know I'm always working well with my hands. Push the button, watch me execute the plan. Watch my mothership move across the land. Too many haters trying to get on board. Fucking with a hustle that they can't afford. No days off, so we gon' need more. Dropping bombs in your neighborhood from my Concord. Couture fashion, looking like a champion. Preacher with the Ferragamo foot action. That boy's so cool from all the finger snapping. My choir's on 10 from all the hand clapping. White suit, daddy, rich Cadillac, and screaming for the preacher was her reaction. Man, never mind them haters out here trying to stop me. Just open up your eyes and watch me. Open up your eyes and watch me. Open up your eyes and watch me. Never mind them haters out here trying to stop me. Just open up your eyes and watch me.
You need to watch yourself. You haters out there, you need to watch yourself. Watch yourself. You haters out there, you need to watch yourself. Watch yourself. You haters out there, you need to watch yourself. Watch yourself. Watch yourself.
Open up your eyes and watch me. Open of my them haters out here trying to stop me. Just open up your eyes and watch me, watch me, watch me.
And we are back. We are back. That was Watch Me. Holy shit. So two questions on that, right?
Mhm.
What was the first part of the song you wrote? The hook or the rest of it? Because I don't know which stood out more.
Well, I started the verse first. I started the verse, and it just ended that way. How the verse ended with me saying "Watch me," and it just organically happened that way. 'Cause I just wrote it straight through. So it's like it all just fit. You know what I'm saying? It was just like I said, it was the essence of it, and then also, shooting it in St. Paul, letting people get to actually see what's going on in St. Paul, how it looks, there's different seasons that's going on, how the culture is affecting St. Paul and how we're putting it out. You know, uh, one of my guys from the current radio station here, he calls me the St. Paul ambassador. So a lot of times, I take that to heart. So I'll really like shoot videos and stuff, here at home and stuff like this, so people can get to know the neighborhood. Just, get that, know what's going on when you come to St. Paul. Holler at your boy. So, I can take you around.
You got that I'm him energy in this bitch. I'm him. How are the fans? How was the audience retention and the reception to it? And did you see like a shift in how people engage with the music since it came out?
Yeah. Well, yes. People are definitely way more engaged. But it depends on where you at. Like, if when I'm in Chicago, it's crazy. Okay, Chicago show, big time love. Like I always like going to Chi-Town. Like, they know how to welcome people. New Yorkers, okay, they really are down for the interaction. That whole, yes, you can just be an MC and it's just you, but they want some interaction and they want some energy out of you, and they will fucking let you know it. So it's like my songs like Watch Me and Get Down, they really respond well to. And a lot more people are like, I see a lot more people like sharing it online, and some folks are, adding it to their stories and everything. It's just really just the way Watch Me is working right now. It's like getting a mind of its own right now. It's like hard for me to keep up how many people even sharing it and using it right now.
So you have a very long discography. Your discography includes the works from like Futuristic Funk in 2015, singles such as Rap Caviar and Tiger Fist in 2023. How do you feel you've evolved from that MC in 2015 to who you are now in 2025? And has your themes and style stayed consistent to what the hip hop OG is?
Oh yeah, that's definitely. I have to give a lot of that again. I have to give a lot of that to my producers, uh, Flame Squad, DJ MC, and LST. Those boys they really in front of ahead of their time. You know, they're producers that are not comfortable by any means. It's like you know what's the next level? What are people really thirsty for? You just can't keep giving them the same thing. So it's like on social media, fans pretty much really interact, so I actually get the opportunity to really kind of hear where they're at and what they're feeling and what they're not feeling. You know, so it's just where futuristic funk came from. You know, it's like really when the St. Paul sound in me really came out. Like this is what it is. Okay. And then when Flame Squad, when he really stepped in, he says, okay, we gonna take that, okay, and we bought to what he calls not Boom-Bap, but he calls it Sonic Bap, you know, and add Sonic Bap, but added that electric, you know, hip hop style that he's known for, just to my sound to get that side, and then with LST, you know, get my more uh soulful side, you know, and more, you know, golden age hip hop sort of sounds, whatever. So it's like I'm able to give my fans like a little bit of both of each side of it. So it's like, you know, that whole not man can't let them get bored, man. I can't let you get bored. Can't do it.
I'm dude, I'm not bored. What who the hell got bored of you? What? Afro Preachah, you survived the Rawrrzone. It was so dope to sit down with you. Katie surprised the shit out of me with you. Wow.
Oh,
She
thank
wasn't
you.
she really wasn't fucking kidding. I didn't expect samurai, anime, swordsman, superhero, freaky music preacher. Thank you so much for being here with us. Tell the world what's next. I know you and I were going to meet in New York in a few weeks.
Yep. We're going to be there for the Shy Rock Music Festival up in Gun Hill Park. I'll be there from June 5th to the 9th. So we're going to be there for some extra days, you know, hitting different parts. We're going to be hanging out in Brooklyn. We're probably going to be hanging out in Chelsea, you know, because I'm bringing my staff, Mothership on the Move. Staff is going to be there. So we're definitely going to be filming for Mothership on the Move. Then my next gig is going to be the Black and White Party back in the Twin Cities with KMHP Radio, their second annual Red White Party. So that's going on. And then this is a little bit in the future, but it looks like it is for real. The itinerary will be coming soon. But in in October, we will be in Beijing, China for Fashion Week. And then in December, we will be in South Korea.
Take me with you.
For their Fashion Week. So that, and then new projects as far as music is going to be dropping like gangbusters. So I've been in the studio and stuff too. So it's got new music that's going to be coming to you soon. So.
I'm so fucking excited. Guys, if you are not as hype as I was watching this interview and talking with this man himself, I don't know what's wrong with you. You a dub. Yeah, we're bringing that back. I need to make that a t-shirt. I used to say that all the time. That and I don't get paid enough for this shit. But my love, where can they find you?
You can find me at afropreachah.com. That's Afro, AFROPreachah.com. I'm the only one on the planet. Just put in Afro Preachah and you'll be able to find me everywhere.
Ladies and gentlemen, that is I, Katie Ivy, whatever you want to call me. Just talk to me nice, because our Lord and Savior Bob Marley and our guest here, his apostle, the samurai preacher, don't like ugly. You can find this episode and more on our YouTube and our website, www.rawrzonenyc.com. Catch us Wednesdays, 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time on Puso 82.3 FM. Catch us on Friday nights on the Evening Rush Radio Network. We got the Get Raw birthday event coming up. That'll be the same weekend that Afro Preachah is going to be here. I got to tell him to leave the sword at home because I don't think they'll let us have it in the club. But come celebrate my birthday with me. If you can't make it, where I'm trying to get them to stay an extra week, right? But we're doing the Get Raw Benefit show. Proceeds are courtesy. Thanks to Real Deal Entertainment. We're doing it to help get my mom out of the studio faster. Nah, I'm kidding. I love you, Mom. But we're trying to bring Ivy Productions to be mobile so we can still give you the quality work that we've been giving you, even though we're trying to do, dealing with life because life won a life. But if you're looking to perform, we are giving back to the Sarcoma Foundation of America. July 26th, we are back at Sanger Hall. Get involved with us. We're fighting cancer with music. 3 performers will be chosen for our Give Back concert this fall for Mount Sinai Pediatrics and the Sarcoma Foundation of America. Jesus Christ, that was a mouthful. Hey, yo.
Hey, yo.
From myself and the Samurai Swordsman, Afro Preachah himself, I bid y'all a too sweet, a good fight, and a message from our sponsors.
I've got one more thing to say, and it'll only take me a second. I've got 2 words that I want you all to remember. They're very important. And if I leave you with anything, I'm going to leave you with these 2 words. And those 2 words are, I'm Batman.
Super chat.